With the NBA playoffs just days away, real basketball will finally start to get interesting. Many teams just scoring at a high rate with the lack of defense played. Hopefully, we'll see more defense the first few days of the postseason. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. The NBA and every media outlet wish Zion was in the playoffs, likely the reason why the 8 games were added from the regular season. But that's too bad. Here are 10 of the biggest disappointments from the bubble as we head to the playoffs. Starting with the Philadelphia 76ers, who will likely get destroyed by Boston in the first round. I'll be making a video very soon on the postseason matchups and my predictions. You don't want to miss that list. If the pandemic didn't happen, it'd be more than likely Ben Simmons would have been out the rest of the season with a back injury, but healed after a 4-month layoff. Unfortunately, things went back the way it was after the all-star point guard suffered a knee injury, out for the foreseeable future and likely the entire postseason. Already an underwhelming season, Joel Embiid dealing with an ankle injury, suffered a hand injury against the Raptors. Although it's not too serious, the team failed to take a step forward since overpaying for Al Horford. Nothing seemed to be going right for them, and Brett Brown, in a mitigated disaster, a first-round exit's destined. The struggles of Buddy Hield, before the team had a slight chance of possibly making the playoffs, started the bubble 1-5, terrible at all levels, through 7 games before their final game against the Lakers, which didn't count for anything. The 6'4" guard has been an absolute travesty. 12.3 points, 38% shooting. After signing a 4-year, $94 million contract extension, he had plenty of issues with Luke Walton all season. Hield, playing around 20 minutes since the season return, appeared to be out of shape according to several league insiders in an ESPN article. After failing to get his team to the playoffs, Hield lost out on $11.5 million bonus. Having contract disputes earlier on the season, the 27-year-old felt insulted, feeling he's worth more. Action speaks louder than words. His actions on the court has been a total disaster. Instead of calling him Buddy Hield, he's been playing like Buddy Wounds. The Kings franchise officially failed to make the playoffs for 14 straight seasons, the second longest streak all time. The disaster of the Orlando Magic's key players, Evan Fournier and Terrence Ross, 2-4 in the bubble so far. After promising young forward Jonathan Isaac toward his ACL, the most consistent player on the season, averaging just 14.4 points the 5 games, down from 19 a game. Ross has been wildly inconsistent, averaged just over 14 points on 36% shooting on acceptable standards. Won't get it done after connecting on over 40% from 3 on the year. With Brooklyn having half their roster out, the plan was laid out for the Magic to get the 7th seed and play the Raptors, where they will at least have a chance to win 1 game, but will get absolutely demolished by Milwaukee. Aaron Gordon missing time with injury, the epic disappointment of Lonzo Ball, aka Lonzo Fall, who showed glimpses of star potential, but thus far a huge disappointment. Finished his 3rd season. Many believe he'll turn it around, but some already view him as a bust. His performance over 7 games has been an extreme absolute travesty. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, okay, but under 31% shooting, 28 from 3, horrendous on all levels. His team going 2-5, so played very well his last game. Before that was averaging just 5.7 points on 26% shooting, 19 from 3, continued to get absolutely destroyed, abused, annihilated, and humiliated by the battered De'Aaron Fox, who dropped 30 points, 10 assists, Ball just 9 points on 7 shots. Many believe he already checked out before the return of the bubble. The soon-to-be 23-year-old needs to step up next season and prove doubters wrong. Redrafting the 2017 class, there's at least 5 players you rather have instead of Ball right now, maybe even 10. If he doesn't turn it around, it'll be up to younger brother LaMelo's performance to keep LeVar's name relevant. The concerns of Zion Williamson. The Pelicans didn't even seem like they cared to make the playoffs, with the rookie power forward playing limited minutes in a do-or-die situation. Every game was critical. The NBA gave every chance to New Orleans they can possibly get to sneak them in the playoffs. The postseason could have already been happening a week or 2 earlier without all these regular season games if New Orleans was the 8th seed. Every time Zion plays, he dominates and puts up numbers. His main flaw, his lack of availability. Hasn't played much. Over 5 games, playing just over 20 minutes isn't enough. With concerns about his weight, there's no doubt when healthy, he's a future superstar. No excuses, still playing limited minutes. Zion must understand he'll be the face of the NBA, and the league's heavily relying on him to dominate for the next decade. Needs to play 30+ minutes. His status, mixed many nervous, we can only hope for the best. Alvin Gentry, one of the worst coaching jobs of the season. I'd be shocked if New Orleans don't fire him within the next 2 months. No excuses for his team's uninspiring efforts. The players don't match his strength. The mixture of the young guys and the vets haven't meshed. Too bad JJ Redick will miss the postseason for the first time of his career. Actually one of the more consistent players on the team. This was not what he signed up for. Gentry with a year left on his contract, he might be days removed before the end of the playoffs. The team's defense was absolutely atrocious all season, no communication, the slow starts. The Pelicans had every gimmies from the league but ended up in shame. The struggles of Pascal Siakam recently. Despite Toronto being the best regular season team the last few months while the season was going on, 6-1 so far in the bubble, very good, but the 6'9" power forwards only averaging under 17 points, 6 rebounds on 39% shooting, wildly inconsistent. After being viewed a breakout star, many believe he's a top 10 player in the NBA this season, and even comparable to Giannis. If the Raptors truly want to repeat without Kawhi, Siakam must step up and play like a superstar, otherwise it will be a second round exit. Being Toronto's first option, the role players can only take the team so far. If he play like the way he did in the 2019 finals, the Raptors have a chance. A second round showdown with the Celtics inevitable. The struggles of Danny Green. LeBron and AD have had their up and down moments, but they will show up come playoff time. Green, a key starter, shooting just 40% from the field, drawn the 6 games, 28% from 3. Without Avery Bradley, the 6'6" shooter must step up and knock down shots come playoff time, a hit or miss type guy. In the 13 games against the Sixers and Bucks of the 2019 postseason, Green shot a pathetic 30% from the field, 29% from 3, averaged just 6.3 points during that stretch. If he plays that poorly, the Lakers will lose to the Clippers. The struggles of Robert Covington plus Russell Westbrook's quad injury, who will miss a couple games of the first round matchup against OKC at the very least. The 6'7" forward, part of that Capella trade. Houston's small ball lineup can backfire if they get bounced in round 1 of the playoffs, averaging just 10 points on the terrible 34% shooting the last 7 games, 23 from deep. Simply won't get it done against OKC. Houston going full on super small ball will be concerning if the threes don't drop. James Harden will be depended heavily upon to carry the team, but it's only human. Covington must step up come postseason time. Kudos to the Phoenix Suns for being undefeated in the bubble, but sadly, very disappointingly, won't get a chance to go further, with the Trailblazers edging out the Nets. Without a doubt, D-Book has been the bubble MVP, tasting the most success he ever had in the NBA. On the bright side, the 23-year-old's being viewed as a superstar for his excellent play, a sniper. Adding to the disappointment, San Antonio's 22 season playoff streak comes to an end, an unbelievable run. Memphis being just 2-6 just got them to the play-in game, looked like a mental collapse at first. Dillon Brooks went off against Milwaukee after almost single-handedly drawing the season away with his poor shot selections. Grizzly fans feel relief for now. The separation and balance for the 8th seed as dramatic as any competitive Western Conference year. Memphis and Portland, here we go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be making my 2020 postseason predictions on my next video. You don't want to miss out. Stay tuned. I love all of you. See you next time.